was asked by somebody, like, I'm always friend zoned. What do I do about that? This one is tough. Look, if there's a specific person, you're friends with them, but you have romantic feelings for them and they don't reciprocate those feelings, I understand using the term friend zoned. You were put in the friend zone with that person. Okay. But when you scale that perception, every woman puts me in the friend zone. I'm always friend zoned, right? How that tells me that you are looking at people not as individuals that you are into, not as a human being that you like romantically, but you are looking at every woman as an opportunity to get out of the friend zone. And so that tells me that you're not really being any woman's actual friend. That you are looking for women to try to date, and when they don't want to date you, you're in the friend zone. But I don't think that makes you a friend. And this is a tough, there's a lot of argument about this, and everybody maybe defines it differently, so they can argue on semantics, but I think the message is important, whatever words you want to put to it, which is, if you are referring to the friend zone as a perception of where you are with every woman, I don't think you're trying to be any woman's friend. So it's a different zone. It is frustrating to like somebody romantically and to have them not feel that way about you or not see you in that way. I get that. That sucks. But if you feel like you are always that way, then, people can sense when you have other motives. They may not be conscious of it, but people can sense when you meet a guy and he's trying to hit on you without really even knowing you. It doesn't feel good. Doesn't know. You're like, he just, he doesn't really even know me, but he's hitting on me. He wants more, even though he doesn't really know me at all. And I can understand why it would also be frustrating to be somebody who just feels like, hey, I'm lonely, I want to date, nobody wants to date me. That sucks. That doesn't feel good. And I empathize, and I understand that sucks. There's a little bit of a chicken and the egg happening here, because I think that it's easy to start. You're like, okay, well, if I ask out, 50 girls and one says yes, in order to get more dates, I have to ask out 200 girls. Right? And so you start, and then now that becomes a subconscious goal at all times with any woman you find attractive. And people can feel that. They can feel that you're on the prowl. And on the prowl generally isn't very attractive, not because you're like, ooh, because I don't ever want anyone to hit on me. That's not what it is. I think it runs a little bit deeper subconsciously. On the prowl subconsciously alerts women, feels like a danger sign, like something that isn't quite right. There's somebody who is looking for a woman, any woman is looking for someone, and I just happen to be a someone. And so that sense that somebody is on the prowl is not attractive, not because women don't ever want to be asked out, but it is the inner alarm bell ringing that it's not really about you that they like. It's you are just the person who's in that place at that time. And they're looking for someone to date. They're looking for a woman. They're trying to find someone to date. And I think women are hardwired to try, for survival, as we all are as human beings. And so I do think that alerts women to some sort of subconscious danger. And then it puts them off. And so this is a pretty tough thing. I always encourage people who are feeling like they're lonely, feeling like online dating sucks, and they're getting resentful and they're getting angry, because it's easy to do. It is hard out there. I encourage you to look for more opportunities to enrich your life that does not include dating. And that does not include being on the internet. So I'm talking about looking for ways to join organizations or clubs, whatever it is that you are into. Is it hiking? Would you like to get outdoors? Do you want to play tennis? Do you like LARPing? Whatever it may be. Look for opportunities to enrich your life, enrich your social life, and you will start to put less focus into meeting someone, but more focus into personal enrichment, which is also maybe lowers that alarm bell thing, right? And makes you more attractive. But also, because loneliness, the answer to loneliness is not to then go on the prowl and then feel resentful and angry if it doesn't work. The answer is to look for other ways to combat feelings in your life of isolation and how to make your life more fulfilling. And often in the pursuit of personal growth and personal fulfillment, you will find like-minded people. You will find deeper, more real connections, and that often leads to romance. So, if you're frustrated, if you're feeling friend-zoned, if you feel like you're perpetually online and the online world is fake and stupid and terrible, which it is, look for ways to enrich your personal life. Look for ways to combat the feeling of isolation with personal growth. Is it meditating? Is it going to yoga classes? Is it finding a Facebook group where they meet up and they do, feeding the homeless on the weekends and charity work? I know there's groups like that. There's groups like that on meetup.com. They meet up every weekend. Look for those opportunities to grow who you are as a person, to feel less isolated, to feel more connected to people, to grow as a person emotionally, to be more socially involved, and you will find a lot of things naturally fall into place.